Hello everyone, thank you for checking out my video. I appreciate you stopping by. I just wanted to do a little something dedicated towards Black history, and this is going to be kind of my history. So I hope you enjoy the ride, and I hope you take it with me. So first of all, the first thing I want to say is Black history is everyone's history. There has been so many great contributions from African Americans and people of color that unfortunately have gone unrecognized for years. And now things are starting to come up to the surface, especially with us being able to search the internet like we can, where we can see the contributions of people of color and others in this country. So let's take time to appreciate our history and remember that the United States was built on the back of immigrants, and let's carry ourselves accordingly. So I just want to give you a little bit of backstory. I hope I don't bore you too much and I'm not good on camera. But I'm trying to get better in that regard. So I want to go back a little bit as far as my own personal Black history, so to speak. When I was coming up, I remember the Nintendo Entertainment System came out and I wanted one so bad. And I eventually got one and I love gaming. I love gaming so much. And it scratched the need and filled the need for me because I was a loner. And being a loner, that my video games became my friend, so to speak. I didn't have any siblings or anything like that. And so I also became a Christian young in my life, in my teenage years and high school years. So that made me a loner twice over in a sense. So I was a person that loved video games and I was a Christian, especially at a young age. And if I knew what I know now, I would have did things differently because I was ashamed of being both. I was ashamed of being a Christian and a person that loved video games, comic books, things like that. But if I would have known what I know now, I would have embraced that because it would have led me to probably a different path than what I'm on now. But I feel like using this channel can help me to get that path, and I can share both my faith and my nerdy side with you guys and others that others that watch the videos. But I didn't embrace it. I was called a nerd. And back in my day in the 90s, I grew up as a 90s. I was in high school in the 90s. So when that comes across as you being a nerd, that was more derogatory. People didn't understand it then. And yeah, that's the way that went. But now, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit to now where being nerdy is kind of a compliment. And when I go on my Instagram channel, I see that other people are into being nerdy. And I see that also you can have a nerdy, quirky side like I do, and I've always had it really. And you can be a Christian at the same time. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be able to represent God and not beat people over the head with Jesus, but I can also be my nerdy side, and I can also use that as a tool to share my faith. So I remember I wasn't into comic books that much growing up, but I was into TV. I watched everything TV from the Fresh Prince to the Jeffersons. Sanford and Son, still my favorite show today. And just TGIF. I remember TGIF vividly because back in my days when TGIF was on, I was spending a lot of time with my grandparents. My parents were always working. And I remember after TGIF would go off, and I think the lineup at the time was probably Perfect Strangers, Full House, then it was Family Matters, and it was Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So after that went off, my cousins and I would possibly play video games, and Nintendo, of course. So I remember those days fondly and vividly. And growing up black means you only had a few options as far as, you was a bunch of junk food and stuff like that. I'm glad for my childhood. It could have been better, but my parents did what they could. I appreciate it now, even as an adult. But I enjoy having this channel and being able to share my nerdy side with you guys because I've never really been able to express myself, or I didn't know how to express myself without feeling intimidated or feeling alone in this journey. Even though I'm an introvert, you still want that sense of community. And I'm grateful to be able to use this channel as my sense of community where I see people that appreciate my drawings and the posts I put about the video games. But I think that is a good thing that allows me to express myself and also have a blog, which I need to be working on more. Those things allow me to express myself in a way that I really didn't get to express myself in my younger days. And especially being a black teen, kind of growing up in the hood, people don't understand you if you're different because everybody conforms to what the popular trend and the popular thing is in high school. And I try to do that very same thing just to not stand out too much. But there were obvious times where I couldn't help it. And yeah, now I got a Sega late. I got a Sega Genesis late. I really never had and really upgraded system outside of that. Well, those are I paid for the. I didn't pay for the Genesis. My parents paid for it, and I only had like Sonic with it. And of course, later in life, I was able to get games on my own once I got working and had jobs and things of that nature. And it was cool coming up. It was cool coming up in the 90s before the digital age really took over. We had computers, of course, and everything like that. Had computers, pagers, cell phones, well, big old bulky car phones, so to speak. But I think I appreciate the way I came up now as opposed to coming up in the 2000s where everything would have been all digital, and I wouldn't have liked that because it would have been a lot of pressure on me, especially as an introvert where so many people on Facebook and social media platforms are so flashy where I'm more reserved, I'm more laid back, and I'm introverted, and that would have messed with me really, really bad. But I thank God that I came up in the 80s and the 90s. I had a cartoon. Saturday morning cartoons were a treat for me in my household because we really didn't have anything to do. We did work for my grandfather. My grandfather put us to work, me and my cousins, my other two cousins. And we worked most of the time, did little chores and stuff during the week. And during Fridays, on Friday nights, we would go to the rental movie place, which was Countryside Lights in my area, and we would get a $2.10 Nintendo video game. And that makes me appreciate the good times, the simpler times. And I think that's one of the things about nostalgia. I saw one person post that nostalgia is a good feeling and a bad feeling at the same time because it was good to have the memories of those times. Yet it's bad because you can't go back to those times. And I agree with that. But at least we have things like YouTube, and I see people post on my Instagram all the time. I absolutely love all the posts. But I'm just rambling, guys. I really have a purpose for this video. I just wanted to talk. So forgive me, guys. Forgive me so much. But I don't know. I think maybe more so rather than growing up black per se, it was about growing up without the deterrences of digital lifestyle. What I mean by that is When my cousins and I wanted to go outside, we went outside and played, rode bicycles. Other friends, people rode bicycles, practiced martial arts moves, things like that, where you weren't behind a computer screen all day long or anything like that, and you had access to your friends. You can just go by and see them, ride your bicycle down the street and see somebody, or walk to the park and see somebody, in my case. So, I don't know, I had good memories. I have some bad ones as well, which I won't share. But it was tough coming up. We were fairly poor. I mean, we had enough, but sometimes enough was difficult to come by. And for most of my childhood, we didn't have a car in my family. I was the first one actually to get a car. But I appreciate the times because it helped shape and mold me into the person I am now. And of course, having God on my side really meant the world because came from a family with a lot of alcoholic history, things of that nature. And I'm thankful that I didn't get caught in that trap, that I was able to avoid it because God's goodness really worked on my behalf as far as that. But man, being able to see people living out their daily lives, it really encourages me. And seeing the video game content, like the retro video game content, it's amazing because it's allowing me to open up in a way I probably didn't before in my childhood. I guess that was the purpose of me making this video, is that outlets like YouTube and social media can be good because it gives me a platform to connect with people, and maybe somebody has a story like mine where they were intimidated a little bit in school or intimidated in society when they were called a nerd or called nerdy or whatever. Whereas now we can have a bit of pride about that. We can carry ourselves and play the games that we've always loved, and look at the comic books and even read the updated comic books and have access to this technology that allows us to be ourselves. So I thank you guys for listening to me ramble on. I know this probably I hope this is, I don't know what this is. I just want to talk, to be honest with you guys. I just want to do a video. And I was going to talk about mainly black history, things like that. But the more I thought about doing this video, and in the middle of this video, I thought about, okay, the thing is not necessarily about being black, even though it's Black History Month, but it's about the way that technology has interrupted our lifestyles, even from when we were kids, from especially in the 90s, from kids until now in 2025, where everything is either an iPad or it's an iPhone or Android as far as your entertainment value. Even as much as we love TV, yeah, everybody has a TV in their home pretty much, but the small screens are pretty much getting the most attention, and that's where everything is going towards AI. All the content is being mobile friendly. So I don't know. It's just a lot has changed in these 90s, where I was a teenager, to now, where I'm actually holding the phone to record a video, where that would have been unfathomable back in the 90s, even when I was in high school. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys so much. And I thank you for taking this journey with me. I'm really not a video person. I love to write. So I really am able to be myself more on the blog, but this is a little bit different, but it's not bad as I thought it would be. I hope to be in a position one day to be able to load gameplay up on this channel, because that's one of my goals in the future, to be able to have a nice setup where I can actually post Even if it's just like a minute or less clip of gameplay, I would love to do those for you because I feel like that can be a good connection point as well. Also, yeah, I think that's the main thing. I do want to do some gaming, and I don't know if you guys have a topic or something you want to cover. I also will share my faith from time to time on here, and I don't want to do it as a way to necessarily be a preacher because it's not me. I'm just a person that God loves, and I want to share that love with other people. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. When I started this channel, I just didn't know how it was gonna go. I was scared actually to do it, but I felt the pull to do it. And I'm hoping to be able to encourage, inspire, and connect with people, and we can have some fun. Whether it's we're talking Proverbs or Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, or whether we're just playing a game, it's all good. So I hope to keep this channel going as long as I can. I think it's more of a passion project for me, and I'm not gonna say I don't care about monetization. Of course, I would love to be monetized on this channel, but like that's not my goal. My goal is to be able to just express my nerdy side and to share my faith along that path as well. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video. I appreciate you guys. God bless you. I appreciate you so much for stopping by and paying attention to my ramblings, paying attention to me go on and on and on. And if there's anything you want me to talk about or cover, let me know and I'll try to make it happen. Yeah, I'm just grateful. I really am. Cause this is what I love to do right here. My channel, talking about nerdy stuff, especially 90s shows and video games. I love it, man. I'm here for it. So thank you guys for checking out the video once again. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for paying attention to my rambling. Thank you so much.